I don't know, it's just a lot more real than I thought than I thought this would be. Hello friends. It's been a little minute since my last little post, so I thought I'd show my beautiful face again. There's something that's been coming up a lot, like just in life, and I just feel moved to like talk about this topic, so that's what the heck I'm going to do. So, I just got done working out, and that's kind of what brought this to the top of my mind. Um, when I go to the gym, I don't know about you, but me, I get a little bit nervous when I go to the gym because sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I go in there and I'm just like, do your best. And that is all I can think of. I know I have particular goals, but sometimes it gets tricky trying to map out workout plans because it's like either I'm sitting at home trying to map out a plan or I'm going and just doing something and not really being sure if I'm doing the right things. And so when you get in the gym and you're kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing, there's that self consciousness that comes along with that. Like, oh my gosh, are people going to know that I'm clueless right now? And yeah, but you know what? I'm I am still showing up. Anyways, I did not come on here to talk about working out. I came on here to talk about being seen because outside of working out, that is something that I have struggled so hard with. Anyone who knows me personally has kind of seen me dip in and out a lot, more out than in. Being someone who was on social media at a young age, like what? Like, I want to say like around 10, 11. It got to a point where I started to realize that showing up is kind of hard if you are trying to be intentional about who's watching you. Because if you're not intentional about that, it can get kind of scary. Like, I felt like for a long time, I would do stuff like on TikTok, I would just kind of be me, be silly, share what I love, like try to make people laugh. And whenever I would do that, I would notice that I would get attention. And the scary part of getting that attention was that sometimes it was, most of the time, it was good attention, from my friends and from other people. But then this thing would happen where there would be not so good people who would see my content, and it seemed like those people had the strongest voices. And of course, I'm not just talking about social media, but like also in general, just in life. Like, if you shine bright, have a big personality, are someone who is very visible, you attract everything. You attract good and bad. Because the attention has been so varied, and I'm hitting this wall of what do I share and how do I do it in a way that isn't going to be harmful and to myself or anyone else. And then I came across this YouTuber. I'll like link the video or something in my description, and she was talking about several principles to get out of survival mode from the Bible. So I went looking up these verses. One verse, Matthew 25, about stewardship. And I was like, you know what? This really resonated with me. So I'm going to dive deeper into the book of Matthew. So once I did, there was two things that came up, and I will insert them because your girl is not a memory queen. Okay, I take notes, but I do not remember things off the top of my head. Um, but the first thing that came up was when Jesus was on the top of the mountain and he was being tempted by Satan. And of course, I'd heard this story before. He's at the top of the mountain. He says, basically, not today, Satan. I don't try me. Okay, you cannot tempt me. My answer is no. That's not a direct quote, but that was the gist. He was tempted, and Jesus was like, no. My faith is in God. You cannot offer me anything else that my Father cannot provide. And after that, there was a verse about, it was the very next chapter, and there was a verse talking about being a light. And that verse highlighted for me the fact that when you do have something good, when you have a light inside of you, don't hide it. You put it up on the hill so that everyone can see. You don't put it under a bush. You put your light in the house so that everyone can see, and you might inspire somebody else. So in reading that, those two things together, it brought me comfort and a realization that, and it's something that I already knew, but it just feels different coming from the source. The source of my strength and the source of my wisdom should not be myself. It should not be my friends. It should not be the internet. It should be God. And I was kind of joking in my other video, and I was like, I haven't decided to follow Jesus. I mean, because I have, but I don't know. It's just a lot more real than I thought than I thought this would be. So I just wanted to share that because somebody else may be going through a situation where it's like, where you wonder, how do you balance having attention with not wanting the bad attention and develop the proper discernment on how to carry yourself so that you're good and you stay healthy. Anyways, I feel like I've just rambled. I just rambled so much. I don't know if this is making sense. Like, is this making sense? I should probably write things down, but I don't know. I kind of like just talking for now. Anyways, okay. I need to eat lunch because gains. Okay, I still don't know what I'm doing in the gym. I'm gonna try my best. All right, bye.